Hey, yeah, so we're back after, well, you saw what happened in the last episode. Here it all is. So we got to get through all this stuff. We got to organize it, and we got to give some of this away. It's like coming round from a drunken stupor. The next night, I don't even know what galaxy I'm in. So I'm going to hit the portal, and I'm just going to head straight back to my place. I'm not one to dine and dash, but getting love bombed like that makes me uneasy. Here we are. Igor's Chapel, home at last. Okay, so here's our stuff. We have one safe, and we have no place to put anything. Oh no. We're gonna have to do something about this. Pull up the anomaly. Hey, here it is. Fly right in there. This thing's awesome. I actually love entering it every time. And we'll run straight over to get what we need. It's nice to see that it's quite active during this time of day. I'm not too sure what time of day it was when I recorded this, but, you know, it was nice to see a lot more people. We actually brought safe number 1 and safe number 2. And for possibly the first time on this entire playthrough, I stayed focused. I mostly stayed focused. There was a couple of things that got me distracted, but I stayed focused on the task I was trying to do. Get to the anomaly, get the safe, get back. I count it as staying focused because I didn't go off to do any other activities in the meantime. That was a nice descent. Smooth transition from the anomaly to the home. Safe 1. Here we are. And safe 2. Awesome. I'll have to put different things in each one. Okay, so like, in this container, I've put all the stuff that I want to give to Forky, but before I sort of finish up in this container, I wanted to talk about these. These are the eggs that enraged person gave me. And you can see that some of these look strange. Corrupted quad egg? Mecha mouse egg? I have no clue what kind of things are going to come from these eggs. I don't want to just hatch them. I kind of want to keep them as little treasures from, you know, a time of great friendship. I will get round to probably copying these and hatching them, so that'll be an interesting one. The egg system is definitely worth exploring. So here is all of the elements and base materials I've got. Oh, actually, speaking about eggs, let's go check out that Metroid thing I've got. Yeah, this thing's amazing. It actually looks adorable. So every few days, in my camp where I've built my base, these wheelbarrows here refill. And they also have a high chance of rolling an in-game currency. So while the game doesn't have an economy and a proper trade system and an MMO communication with itself, it's fine that I can just pick these up at any time to an infinite supply. The thing that makes it bad though is that it means that everything from these little wheelbarrows here will have zero value. If we see it as a supply and demand issue, but the supply is this infinite pool that never ends and I can just build my base right on top of this infinite pool that never ends. It doesn't matter how big of a demand you create, the item is still valued at 0. Because there is no challenge of acquirement, there is no time investment. If you go and touch grass for 2 days, the items just respawn right inside your house. And we end up creating a similar effect when it comes down to item generosity in this game. I appreciate the fact that everybody knows that no items have value because you can just infinitely copy every item within the game's willing exploits. And as a result, the player base isn't tight-fisted about that one. And I appreciate that. The player base is aware that no item has value in this game, so they're willing to just give them away, even if it's the end tier of end tier items. Items I don't even understand, and yet it doesn't matter. They can just copy 20 of them, give me 10, and then just reload the room and have their original 20 while I still have my original, well, not original 10. And we can do this with every item, any item. I'm currently doing an experiment with, well, you'll see. I won't talk about it just yet. I'll do a whole bit about it. But I'm doing an experiment with how far I can push this duplication property. And I'm not going to try and duplicate things that are more expensive or rare, I'm going to try and duplicate things that are abstract and awkward to get to see if I can speed run a whole process. We'll talk about it later. It'll be fun. Yeah, we're on Taxipty here. I want you to know I spend all of my retrograde virus things, my not rare candies, on this beautiful bastard. I love him so much. You can have all of them. We're going to make him bulky. I'm probably going to make eggs out of him and make this an S-class all the way down if possible. I'm going to put the work in. I am. I grabbed a few bits out of the car. Now that I've got more storage containers, I don't have to use the car as a container. Yeah, so crystals can go to the ship, and these elements can go to the safe. I think I'll keep that condensed carbon in here, though. I'm going to try and give away this stuff. I don't need any of this. I might make one of them ships first. And here's some of the stuff I might keep. Going into Vault 2. Yeah, pretty much all of this will be going to T-Forky. Yeah, that nip. I promise that's not mine. I'm just holding it for a friend. But these eggs I'm going to keep for myself. Yeah. Yeah, that's your stuff. And in my safe here, well, this is just my elements. On the left is what I'm giving away. On the right is what I'm splitting with T-Forky. Awesome. So after being responsible, we decided to get back into the stars to go sentinel ship hunting. Yeah, just a couple of hops to relax. Took a little while to choose a star, made our decision, and we arrived to an automated freighter battle. And this is a chance to talk about a different exploit in the game. So on your 5th jump and 3 hours of gameplay, you will get a freighter battle. And if the freighter battle that you've jumped to isn't the one you want, you can restore to a previous save point. And when you restore to a previous save point, you can choose a different star, and when you choose a different star, you'll have a different freighter that you can choose to rescue. So sure enough, I restored my save, because I now know on my next jump I'm going to get a freighter. I'm not going to spend loads of time doing this. Let's go get a nice freighter. We're going to choose the first one that looks good, and we're going to stick to that one. And I know what type of freighter I'm looking for. I'm probably not going to accept any C-class freighter as well. You know, we've got to be a little classy. Ah, look at this. A Venator. They look great, but it's not the one we're looking for. So let's restart. We're looking for a 7-segment dreadnought. Kind of like the ones from Warhammer. This one. It only took 2 or 3 hops before we found this. So sure enough, we saved them. We was given our invitation to dock. So, yep. Hey buddy. Yeah, I would like to check out your freighter. It's a B class, so, you know, not the worst. It's the correct shape. It gives us something to look forward to in the future about finding an S class. I think I'll take it. Yes. Yeah, so, the freighter's got a whole lot going on with it. I should probably talk about that in its own little bit. But for now, there's something I want to do. Radiant Pillar. I want you to be archived. Safe forever. It feels symbolic to archive Radiant Pillar. It's like that true step out of early game.